Hello, I wanted to give you a little boat update on Leviathan. So the next stages in Leviathan is to get her water tank fitted. Now with the water tank, that means I can get all the plumbing sorted into the sink and the shower, and the floor is removable at the moment. The floor isn't fixed, so the plumbing will fit in fine. We'll get pumped for that, and that'll be a really amazing feat. I'm looking for something around 250 to 300 litres, just because I don't want to be constantly constrained to having to find somewhere to top up water. The next stage after that is the water heater. Now the water heaters are extremely expensive, so I'm looking at a Morco heater for around about £500, and this doesn't include the costs of what it's going to take to actually get someone to fit it. I have looked at alternatives. I have heard people say, oh, why don't you have the log burner to heat up the water? And whereas this was an option, I didn't fancy the thought of constantly lighting a fire every time I wanted a shower. However, after living with my parents, my lovely, lovely parents, for nearly a year now, I have considered just moving on and using the kettle to boil some water for a wash, or using the gym showers, but we've got to do this properly. So it's going to be an LPG heater, and I'm going to be getting someone in the Midlands area to fit that. So all in all, these are the big things that is going to make Leviathan habitable. So I'm looking at putting away around about 500 for heater, 250 for the water heater. So I've got to set aside around about 1,200 for the water heater, the water tank, and labour included. And that's just a rough estimate. It's always fun when your camera battery dies and you have to remember everything you say and start again. It's going to cost around about 100 and 100. I wish it was 100. Like 1,200, 1,400. So over the next 2 weeks, I am going to be doing my best to raise this money for the next wedge of renovation. Now, Wayne unfortunately has a very bad shoulder injury, so I've told him to have a couple of weeks off, because it's no fun working in that sort of environment, is it? It's cold, it's wet, and he stays at the boatyard overnight. He sleeps in his van, and he's got his van all done out, but unfortunately his van has broken, and he doesn't have the van anymore, and he will be staying on the boat. And because it just doesn't feel, I don't want anyone staying on the boat when it's like this, not overnight, and I just don't want him to get sick. So I'm just trying to work around it. I don't want him to stop over until the fireplace is sorted as well. So I want to get the fireplace all sorted, so if he stays on the boat or works on it, we can stick the fire on and the stove, and he can have a nice warm dry environment. So that's also another little bit of money. There's a bit of a double-edged sword here, because Wayne is the only person I trust with the boat. He's the only one whose advice I really, really listen to, just because the boat project, he just gets it and he just understands the journey I've had with it, and we're very much like on the same wavelength, and I really enjoy his company. I think Wayne's awesome, but to get the fireplace done whilst he's recovering his shoulder, he has said he can come down whenever I want, but like, I really don't want him to damage it any further, so I want him to have a couple of weeks off until he's good again. So I am open up to suggestions. If you know anyone in the Warwickshire, Leicestershire region of someone I can trust to fit in an LPG, I've said it so many times now, I don't even know. If you know anyone who can fit a water heater and who can help me sort out my fireplace, just comment below or send me an email at EarleWrites@gmail.com. The next stage after that will be servicing the engine, and the people across from me, Piston Rings, Steve there is going to help me service the engine. They do up race cars and repurpose items from vehicles and make them cool into lamps and stuff like that. So he's going to help me with the engine. And if you don't know what the engine is, it's a 1999 Yamaha 4-stroke. I'm going to be doing another video answering some questions about the boat project, or any questions that you've ever thought that you'd like to ask me. So please do feel free to either comment below or email at me at EarleWrites@gmail.com to send me these questions, and I'll be answering them in another video. So after the engine is serviced, we'll be making a new cradle for the engine to be fitted. And then of course, there's the paint job. I know I've been talking about this paint job for so long now. It's just because it's wet and horrible and it's not really ideal conditions to do it in at the moment. But I'm hoping when it dries up later on in January, who knows, it's going to get worse in January. It will be done. It will be done. I just hate painting so much. It's weird, isn't it, that I hate painting, but this is my job. I love painting nice things, painting boats. The electrics are all hooked up. We'll be then getting batteries from Transporter Energy. They've been so kind, which is really cool because they're lithium batteries. I'm still trying to learn more about it actually, so it'll be really cool and fun to, as this journey progresses, to learn more about it and be able to talk about it from a beginner's point of view. Some people have asked me about solar panels. All in all, I'm going to have to set aside another grand into like generator, inverter, solar panels. It's to go towards the costs towards it. I know Transport Energy, they're going to be working with us on the energy side of things to make Leviathan more efficient, which is really, it just feels really amazing to be in a space of being semi-self-sufficient on the water, to be able to create your own energy. Harness it from the sun. Thank you, Apollo. There's a lot to do on Leviathan, but we're at the fun stage now. This is the fun stage where things start changing, things start evolving, and you get to see more of a visual difference. It's been a long slog. It's been over a year doing this. Some people, when they do a project, they already have a budget to spend on their boat. I learned a lot of lessons. Unfortunately, the first time round going towards this project didn't work out. I think I was a bit naive and I trusted the wrong people. But moving on, I'm all up for learning and moving on and harnessing new experiences. So with this project, it's been quite difficult doing this during a pandemic because of the job I have my own business. You put in twice the amount of hours to generate one sale. It's definitely worth it, and I really, really love my job. I put in a lot of hours to grow my business and to get out my books and to bring you these videos and try and make my content as interesting and interactive as possible. So I'm always open for video suggestions if you'd like to know anything more. All in all, I'm going to be working every single hour that I can to make sure Leviathan is livable by February. The date has been pushed back and back and back, and this is because I want proper professionals to do the job, and with this you pay professional prices. And you could say, oh, why don't you do the work yourself? I'm not interested in bodging any jobs on this project. I already learnt the hard way and I want everything done properly, and taking your ego out of the situation makes things a lot better. I mean, it would be great to see me with drills and doing this, that and the other. Whenever Wayne's down there, I do go down and I try and help him as much as I can, doing those small things like tidying up, moving things, carrying things, and then we just end up like having such a laugh that I'm just being distracting. So this process has been very challenging, and I'm really, really grateful with the fact that I've been living with my parents during lockdown, and it's been a huge help, especially living around people during a pandemic. Leela's been loving it. She's never been left on her own for like 1 minute. So she's getting lots of walks and she's just loving it. When things do seem daunting, I just think of this image. I have this image in my head that I've been clinging to. And what it is that it's summer, I'm in the cockpit, and I'm wearing this beautiful chiffon dress, shades, wonderful weather. Leela is with me, and I've got a big jug of Pimm's, and my dress is just blowing in the breeze, and I've got music playing, and I'm reading a book, and I'm just right by the towpath, and I'm somewhere like Oxford or Cambridge, something snazzy like that, and I'm just there. I can feel the sun on my skin, and I'm not worried about anything. I have a home, and no one can take this home away from me. I come from a generation where it's very hard for us to get onto the property ladder, but I've never wanted a house at this age. I don't know where I want to be, and I think it's okay to not know where you want to be, and that's maybe why I've drifted around and gone here, there and everywhere. I don't know where I want to be next year. All I know is that I want somewhere that is mine and that I can take anywhere I want, really. Within England, of course. Within a water network. Yeah. I just wanted to reach out as well and say thank you so much for being so kind. I read every single one of your comments, and it really does bring me joy to have such a supportive family. I'm really lucky. You either come here because you either follow my books and my art, or you're local, you're my friends, or you've followed me from the Delos days, and for whatever reason, I'm just really grateful and appreciative. I'm happy where I am on this journey, and I'm happy that I've got you guys with me on it. So thank you very much. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like, even subscribe, and even better, please share and share some love. And if you would like one of your questions answered in the next video, please drop that down and let's answer it together. Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, let's just have a chat.
I just want to say thank you again. You've been ever so nice. Okay? Okay.
Have a nice night. I also wanted to thank my patrons. You guys are the best. You're there without fail. I couldn't have done this without you. You guys are the sweetest, and I love you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Right, it's nearly 8 o'clock. Let's get home. Oh.
Good night.